My name is Colleen, and this is my kitchen. I've struggled with my weight my entire life. After trying every diet in the book without any success, I came to the realization that diets don't work. I started my journey at a size 26W, weighing just over 300 pounds. In almost a year and a half, I've lost over 120 pounds, and I am a size 14. No W. What's my secret? Eating healthy and moving more. Now I'm here to show you how you can cook healthy food without compromising on taste and lose weight just like I have. Because if I can do it, you can too.
Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. To celebrate being in my new space, I've got 3 dishes for you tonight. We're going to be making a Parmesan herb-crusted shrimp with some curry oven fries and a zesty broccoli coleslaw, Wasabi Coleslaw. And so to start, let's start with our coleslaw because I like to let that sit and really kind of absorb all those flavors before we start, before the rest of the food is ready. So I have 12 ounces of a broccoli slaw mix, and this is just shredded broccoli and carrots. Has a little more fiber and vitamins and nutrients for you than a regular coleslaw mix, which is cabbage and carrots. So I recommend giving this one a try. And then to that, we're going to add a half a cup. I'm using a golden berry blend, which is a blend of raisins, cherries, cranberries, and blueberries. And it just really, the sweetness really is a great foil for the spiciness of the dressing that we're going to be mixing this with. You could use dried cherries, dried cranberries, just plain raisins. But I recommend the blend, makes it a little more interesting. And I'm going to use half a cup of this. Pour that in there. And now, let's put together our dressing. And so for our dressing, first off, I've got a light sour cream. We're going to use a 1/4 cup of that. Once we have our light sour cream in, we want to use half a cup, take some remaining berries out there, a half a cup of plain, non-fat Greek yogurt. I like the Greek yogurt because it's a little bit thicker than regular yogurt. It's also higher in protein, so gives us a little more bang for our buck. Okay. Now, let's add in some other things here. I've got a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And then 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. We're going to use 2 teaspoons of a wasabi horseradish. Now you can use regular horseradish in this, but the wasabi just lends it kind of a different flavor. And then last thing is a half a teaspoon of celery seed. One teaspoon, I lied, that wasn't the last thing. 1 teaspoon of sugar. About half a teaspoon of salt. I'm using a sea salt. And about the same amount of freshly cracked ground pepper. So that is it for our dressing here. Nice little Japanese-inspired flavor. And we're just going to give that a good mix. Once you have that mixed up, go ahead and pour it right over that broccoli slaw and those berries, those dried berries. And let's give this a good stir. You want to make sure that it gets well blended and everything gets coated with that dressing. Okay, so we're going to put this in the fridge and get started on our fries. Next up, we're going to get going on our curry oven fries. And so for that, I have 2 russet potatoes. And by the way, everything I'm making tonight is going to serve 4 people. So 2 russet potatoes for 4 people. I'm using my mandolin slicer to be able to get nice, even cuts on my fries, but you could easily just do this with a knife at home. And so with a mandolin slicer, you just slide it through, and it comes out, you get these nice fries. So I'm going to do that to both potatoes here. Go ahead and put them in a bowl once those are done. Once I have my potatoes all cut there, we're going to get started on a little bit of a dressing for them that we're going to bake them in. And so for that, I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 tablespoon, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and then we're going to use a teaspoon of curry powder. So let's just mix that up a little bit here. And we're just going to pour that right over those potatoes. And just give them a good toss to coat them up. Make sure they all get a little bit of that goodness. Losing them there. Okay. Now I have had my oven preheating to 450. So you want it pretty hot for this. I'm going to take my baking sheet and spray it real well with a non-stick cooking spray. And then I want to lay these out in a single layer. By laying them out in a single layer, it helps them get a little bit crispier. They still won't be quite as crisp as real French fries, but you'll see these turn out really pretty well and very, very flavorful. So now that I have them all laid out, I'm going to go ahead and bake them for 20 minutes total. I like to give them a stir at about halfway in, 10 minutes in, just to give them a stir and make sure they're not sticking on the pan and help even out the crispness effect. The final piece of the meal tonight is our Parmesan Herb-Crusted shrimp. So we've gone kind of around the world with our flavor inspirations tonight, right? We started in Japan with the Wasabi Zesty Coleslaw or broccoli slaw. We went to India for some curry oven fries, and now we're going to go to Italy for some Parmesan Herb-Crusted shrimp. And it starts with a 1/4 cup of grated, which is this powdery type of Parmesan cheese. And then we're going to use 2 tablespoons, sounds like a lot, but trust me, it's good. You want to use 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. And you'll find this with the different spices. You'll see one that'll say Italian herbs, and it's just a blend of different herbs. We're using, again, 2 tablespoons of that. Then I want 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Now I'm not adding any salt because the Parmesan cheese is very salty, so you really just don't need it. So that's it. What I like to do, just mix that up a little bit. And now in this bowl, I have 1 pound of colossal shrimp. They're deveined, they're raw. You want to make sure when you buy, for example, frozen shrimp, a lot of them are already cooked. You want to make sure to get the raw shrimp deveined. These still have the tail on. And I'm using a colossal size, so they're a little bit bigger. And what I'm going to do is just toss them in this mixture that I've made. Make sure to get them all coated there. And I have this cookie sheet here, baking sheet, that I've sprayed with some nonstick cooking spray. And I'm just going to lay these out. And they're going to cook at that same temperature as the fries. They're going to cook at 450 for about 4 minutes, just until they're pink. They cook really, really quickly. So let's get those going in there with those fries. For my fries, you'll notice that I didn't put any salt into the mixture that I cooked them in, so I like to put that on at the very end. Sprinkle about half a teaspoon of fine salt on. Give it a good toss. These turned out so nice and crispy. So let's dish this up. Our wasabi broccoli slaw. Some curry oven fries. And our Parmesan herb-crusted shrimp. How delicious does that look? I hope you give this a try. Let me know what you think. I'm going to go sit down and enjoy my dinner. And I'll see you next time in my kitchen.